Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And guys, I don't want to waste your time. So as we really kind of look at this space, I do believe that retail, is being targeted in some sort of way. One of the biggest things I hear about with XRP going to any sort of dollar figure amount, everyone's always like, well, XRP can't go there. The market cap would be too high, or you see too many people will get rich. First off, I want you guys to understand that there is such a small percentage of people that actually hold XRP and a very small percentage of people that hold XRP that will become wealthy simply because of the amount that they are holding, or they will sell too early, or they will get shaken out. Okay. One thing that I do say about the space quite a bit is, one, do not trust the exchanges at all. Utilize them as a grocery store, right? You go in, you buy your groceries, you take them home, and you put them in the refrigerator. The same thing goes for crypto. You utilize the exchange as if it's a market. You go and buy your crypto, and then you instantly send it over to cold storage of your choosing, of course. And as we do look at that, like, that's the safest bet to do, is locking away your crypto so nobody can touch it. The reason why I say this is because I do believe that at some point in time, the exchanges will be targeted. We will see them fed to Wall Street through, many sort of loopholes that regulators and the government uses. One of the biggest things that we talked a little bit about was OCP 2.0. That was a big talking point this year, Operation Choke Point 2.0. That's still a big thing, right? It's still happening. As we look at this space, regulations are being discussed. We're seeing real-time payment systems launching. The infrastructure is getting upgraded to accommodate for these new technologies and solutions. And all of this begs the question, like, is it really this easy? Is it just us waiting? No. No, they will target us. It's evident. The way that I look at it is, go back to the internet boom, go back to all of the other major technology advancements in history. Every single time regulators are a part of it, or someone is in charge and they are pushing everyone else out because of greed and control. It's happening even with crypto. And one of the biggest things that I really talk about on this channel is the targeting of retail. Coinbase is a good example of this. Coinbase did have to ban retail staking, or at least the SEC wanted them to. This was February of this year. Now, today, we already know that Coinbase is pausing staking services in 4 U.S. states following regulators' orders. These include California, New Jersey, South Carolina, and Wisconsin. And what's funny about this is that, this is only hurting retail. It's only hurting retail. Now, listen, do I think that staking your assets on a centralized exchange is great? No. I never advise to do that. It's one of the worst things that you can do in terms of security and risk of funds. But we know that banks have also been targeting crypto and retail. UK banks, going all the way back to March of this year. HSBC nationwide to ban crypto purchases with credit cards. Also, just recently, there was a study that 47% of UK banks don't allow customers to interact with crypto exchanges. This was October of 2022. So almost a whole year ago. So we know that banks are still targeting the retail sector through their bank accounts. And even recently, I talked about this in a little bit of a meeting with the Discord. I was talking about how, friends of mine were trying to buy crypto and their bank account just would not, or their bank wouldn't allow it, right? Because it's a scam, or they'll, flag the transaction as a risky transaction. It's crazy what is happening here. And it's all because of restrictions on digital assets and crypto. And even in Australia, the NAB cracks down on cryptocurrency transactions. This was just recently. This was 3 days ago. And then also over here from June 8th, major Australian bank to decline certain payments to crypto exchanges. This was Commonwealth Bank. So, this is a big deal. Okay. And even in the US, going back to March 21st, this is right around the time where OCP 2.0 was the big thing. And I still think that we should focus on it today because, again, who knows what lengths they will go to lock out retail from getting extremely wealthy and being a part of this massive revolution. But you see 3 reasons why the US government is locking crypto out of traditional banking. And this was a great talking point because of the idea of fraudulent financial activities. Oh, money laundering, this, that. oh, crypto is utilized for money laundering. It's used to buy drugs, blah, 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 illicit activities. It's like, okay, what about fiat currency? And then also risk associated with crypto assets, and then the welfare of crypto investors. Oh, we need to protect them, right? That's why we need to stop them from being able to stake their crypto, and we need to, stop them from investing. And even just recently, going all the way back to February of 2022, the SEC plans to 10x the definition of accredited investor. The proposed limit at 10 million would make it even harder for ordinary people to invest in startups. I mean, listen. The retail sector has been getting priced out of some of these markets for a very long time. Real estate is a perfect example of this. I do think that this idea of accredited investor is something to focus on. Just recently, we talked about this new bill, right? A pretty big bill, right? It's all about establishing a regulatory framework for digital assets, protecting consumers, fosters innovation, and positions America as a leader in finance and technology. Well, seems as though a lot of people from the community found some very interesting things. So first off, why are you not taking this opportunity to abolish accreditation rules in this new asset class instead of pushing these outdated class divisions forward? This is discriminatory by nature. Let Americans be free. What gives you the right to tell me how to spend my money? This is talking more so about the 10% of a person's annual income, all that kind of stuff. Like, we'll talk a little bit more about that. A lot of people are definitely looking into this and finding the same problems, right? Like, this is very concerning. People can gamble their homes away on fantasy football, casino, or sports betting. Do they need to be accredited investors? It is poor taste to introduce a bill when the space has rapid innovation and the landscape keeps changing. The limits on amounts that can be invested are a deal killer. Take that part out. And yeah, this is talking more so about this. Now, a lot of people are telling me this is all pertaining to ICOs. I want you guys to understand that, right? Like, as we look at ICOs, what's stopping them from making it, all cryptocurrencies? Nothing. At first, yeah, sure, ICOs. Doesn't really matter, right? The thing about this, this shouldn't even be included. Like, this shouldn't even be a question. I don't care if it's ICOs or not. This is a problem. It's limiting the retail sector. Big Champ, the boss, posted this and he said, this is the Financial Innovation and Tech Act about crypto, and here's just one of the craziest things in it. They definitely want to RIP the retail investors. Look at this, shake my head. Prohibits purchases of more than 10% of your annual income or more than 10% of your net worth. Yeah, that's what it says here, right? And we have it here. It mentions it multiple times. Now, again, yes, this is all on par with the accredited investor topic. Eleanor Tourette quoted this because another individual from the community posted this and talked a little bit about it. Again, a lot of people were still talking more so about it around ICOs. For an example, I'll just read this and then we'll break it fully down. This new crypto regulation bill prohibits purchases of more than 10% of a person's annual income or more than 10% of a person's net worth. RIP retail. Down here, we do see accredited investors are exempt from this regulation. You will diversify and you will be happy. There's a lot of comments saying this might be only for ICOs. Going to need some clarification on this. Again, I couldn't really see major clarification on this. Only a few people were really kind of commenting on it. But here we have, looks scary, but a more nuanced read suggests that this provision only relates to ICO, like sales to retail. In this case, the provisions may actually be less restrictive than current securities regulations, which limit non-accredited investor investments to avenues such as Reg CF. So, like, yeah, this could be very beneficial, but I'm still looking at this as a way, like, why do we even need to have this in this bill? Like, just get this out of there altogether. Let this space be free from these exemptions or from any sort of limitations. We do see here from Eleanor Tourette. So this only refers to initial offerings from issuers to non-accredited investors. It involves purchase of digital assets through a new exemption laid out in Section 201. That's similar to Reg D, Reg A, or even Reg CF. Initial offerings of a digital asset that are not made through the exemption will be subject to different rules. Big takeaway, unaccredited investors would have an opportunity to get into initial offerings of digital assets. So again, it could be very good and very beneficial for those that are unaccredited investors, but I still think that this is limiting, right? I still think that's limiting, and we even do see down here, like, accreditation rules are discriminatory by nature as long as they are based on income and not strictly on merit. We're not living in a free country as long as these double standards exist. I completely agree to take it to the moon on this. And a lot of people are also, looking into this and talking a little bit about this. Like, for example, what happens if you put in 10% and it goes up 50x and your crypto is worth 5x your net worth? Do they fine you? Are you forbidden from investing in scam coins ever again? I presume anyone worth more than 5 million is accredited and is not hampered by these limits. Does any other country in the free world tell their less well-off citizens how they can spend their savings? And, you know, again, right, like, I do agree with this. Like, I don't think that there should be any limitations on this. Like, a lot of people have a problem with this. A lot of people are looking into it in, you know, a positive way. Here's also another responses from Yogi Bear XRP. You are leaving out the top section, meaning they want you to keep your money in the bank so that they can lend it out, point period. Just another walled garden they are trying to impose. And yeah, I mean, like, a lot of these bills, again, I've talked about it many times in the past. Like, I know regulations are needed around the space. I just fear that there's going to still be this like traditional way of going about things imposed on this space. Like I said many times in the past, like I agree with regulations. We need regulations. The problem is that we need proper regulations. And as we do look at what's happening right now around some of these bills, I fear that they're putting small things in these bills like this, where most people might not even catch it on the first read. But as you look through all of these pages, like this is on number 51 of 212 out of all of these pages. It's concerning. Whether it's ICOs or not, it's still concerning. And listen, can it be beneficial for those that are unaccredited? Yeah, sure. But what are the other problems tied to this as unaccredited investors? Like, just like we were seeing down here, you know, like what happens? Like, what if, right? The question is, what if? To me, I think that these should be taken out altogether. I really think that these should get taken out altogether. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that there should be any limitations on this space. Even the response to Ticket to the Moon is also great as well. Like, shouldn't have them at all. And enforce the planned indebting and orchestrated takeover / takedown / collapsing of companies, industries, retirement programs, and allowing their buddies to make attorney fees and buy assets cheap. If investor loses, they learn and teach the next generation. And I completely agree. Like, listen, you should know the risk when it comes to investing. Everyone should. Before you even invest $1, you should be looking into the space. You should be understanding how volatile some of these assets are. You should understand the risk. Whenever it comes to an investor, right? Investors know that whatever they are putting in, it could either, you know, boom and make them a ton of money, or it can go boom and they could lose it all. I've always talked about this on this channel. Like, this entire space is speculative. We're speculating on this new asset class that's thriving around utility and all this kind of stuff. Like, we still haven't seen the big boom yet. So technically, yeah, it is speculative. But I don't think that we need to have these limitations. This is a completely new asset class. This is a completely new evolution of financial technology and finance itself, and even assets themselves. So why do we still need these traditional suits telling us how we can spend our money, what we can do with our money? Like, I don't think that this is the way to go about it. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, though. I'd love to hear your thoughts. With that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. So it's up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.